Welcome to Soul Sync. Guys, we have such an incredible surprise for y'all, and we're going to be announcing it live on 2/22 at, you guessed it, 2:22 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
With the angel numbers, y'all can only guess that this is going to be epic and so aligned.
We are doing a free giveaway, so show up to get all the details.
We can't wait to see you there. We love you.
Love you.
Hello, beautiful souls, and welcome back to another week hanging with your favorite spiritual besties.
It's your girls, Taylor.
And Sammy.
And we're here to help you have a deeper relationship with yourself, your health, and your spirituality to transform and expand your life, girl.
How exciting! How fucking divine! Today we have such a fun topic. We are going to be talking about rebranding and up-leveling and how to evolve your life so that you have more inner peace, you're able to grow, and you're able to find that success that you've just been craving for. Because if you're listening to this podcast, I know that you want to live your best motherfucking life. So success, that's a huge goal for you.
Yeah, odds are you're here to listen to exactly this. And maybe it is your sign today to rebrand or look into like a new chapter in your life in that way. And I know that me and Sammy have been kind of entertaining the idea a little bit of like, you know what? We are just constantly evolving so fast. And sometimes like we want to represent that and we want to just like show the world like, hey, this is what we're about now. You know, we're ever-changing beings, so look out, world. Here we come.
100%. And I feel like the best way to start this podcast is to talk about why you should expand yourself and why you should rebrand yourself and why you should just give yourself this opportunity in the first place. Because I know whenever I hear about this topic, I'm always so intrigued. I'm like, ooh, like a rebranding. It just sounds like so mysterious of like, who, why, what, when, what do I need to know? And I feel like that's really the entire point of it, right? Like we are always growing, we're always learning. I mean, for me, I was talking to Taylor this morning and I had so many updates about all of the things since we've seen each other. Guys, it's literally only been what, like 10 days? It has been
Yeah.
such a short period of time. And I told her, I was like, girl, I feel like I'm updating you for an entire year. Like, just so much has happened. I've processed so much. I've been working on also rebranding my own life as I'm manifesting a move right now. Yes, I know, again, and we're going to get into it and we're going to get into how this really relates to rebranding. But you have to make sure you're staying in your alignment and you're really portraying that next level version of yourself. And that's really the why in the first place, so that you can continue to show the world and show yourself who you're becoming, which is just a brand new version of you every day.
Yeah, I feel like it's a version of manifesting too. Like if you just like wake up and you're like, listen, something, there was like a download or something that's been weighing on me of like this new something, you know, like this new philosophy, this new look, this new whatever that you have about yourself. It's like, maybe do I want to deep dive into it? Do I want to like test the waters? Do I want to just like see, like whatever? And when you were saying that, I was thinking about that New Girl episode when Schmidt had that rebrand party and he was like, danger. Like, my new brand is all about danger. And like the whole thing was like fire and flame throwing. And he was like, it's my rebranding party. This is what I'm about now. And oh my fucking God, if Schmidt can do it, anyone can. Yeah. And I really hope we have some New Girl fans because that show is just constantly being brought up because it's the best and the funniest show ever. Um, Little side note. But you're so right. It's like, why should we rebrand? And then also recognizing when it's the right time to, right?
And I think the universe is going to give you those signs. So I'm going to talk to you guys a little bit about the move and how this is kind of correlating with the rebrand, but also how I'm listening to the universe. Because before I had moved to Austin, I was manifesting an office. I really wanted us to get a two bedroom. I wanted more space. I wanted to have like an entire flower wall that had like the greenery and lotus lifts and the bright neon lights. Like that's what I see for myself. And when it came to my lease coming up, because it was only a 9 month lease, which is so weird. I've never had that short of a lease before. But I remember my cousin said, she was like, Sammy, you never know where you're going to be. You might want to move. And it might not be because anything bad has happened. I've loved where I'm living. I mean, it has been magical here, but I do really want to expand. And I found this amazing, amazing place that I'm so fucking excited for. And when I think about the next level version of me, she has an office, she has more space. I'm able to close my door to really just help with those boundaries of personal versus business. Because, especially if you're an entrepreneur, I know you get it. You will never stop having things that you need to do. Like there's this ongoing joke of the job is never done, and it's so accurate. And when you're like me, and this is something Taylor and I have been talking about a lot, I'm my own personal brand. Like, yes, there's Lotus Lifts, but I, as of right now, always want to be the face of that company. Therefore, I need to act like a Lotus babe. I need to embody this leader mentality. And for me, that means having cut off boundaries of no, I'm closing my door. I have an office, I have a space where I get to work, but then I get to live my everyday life. And where I'm moving, I'm actually moving closer to a lot of activities and friends, my gyms, my yoga studios. So I'm giving myself that opportunity to pour more into my personal life in that way, right? So it's like not only am I rebranding myself because I'm prioritizing what's important to me, but I'm also taking that action step of, okay, even though I love where I'm at right now, girl, I know I could do better. I know that I want better. I know that I deserve better. So I'm going to take that next action step. And let me tell you, I'm so excited for that because I think, especially when it comes to rebranding, your environment is everything, right? And I know Taylor can totally relate because her environment before where she lives now to where she is now, like she's so at home. She loves where she lives. I mean, she has the most adorable pink heart pillow for Valentine's Day. Like, come on,
Amazon.
you're a great example.
Come on, people. I mean, no, I absolutely love that so much. And you're so right about your environment. And I don't know if you've ever heard that, like, I don't know if it's like a metaphor or just like a fact of like, you could put, you know, a shark in like a little tank and it will only like know how to swim in that like one little circle. And just any zoo or anything like that, but like we're not meant for that. Like we're creatures of just like expansion, like you said. And you'll know when it's time to rebrand because you'll kind of feel like that shark that's in that like smaller tank and that's just kind of feeling like suffocated a little bit more and more or just restricted in certain ways and you'll notice it and be like, well, at least for me also, I'd be like, well, the world knows me as this. So I'll just revert to what's comfortable and what's normal and what's comfortable for other people, like what they expect from me, kind of. And you kind of just fit in the mold that you create yourself until you realize that you're the one that can shape the mold to look however you want it to look. Like you have the little hammer in the glass, aquarium. You're holding it. And it's like, damn, how long have I been holding this hammer? I could literally just like bust out of it anytime that I want. So it's something really powerful when you realize it too, of like, it's my life and I don't have to be limited to my identity that I created for myself back when, whatever age you were, whatever philosophies, whatever ideas, whatever things that you resonated with, you don't necessarily have to resonate with those same things forever, Nothing is set in stone in that way. And I think it is a beautiful and amazing time in your life when you come to that full circle realization of like, I can be and I can do fucking anything that I put my mind to, anything that I want, anything that I resonate with. And that's exactly what Sammy is talking about too with her business is like even that first initial jump from corporate life to entrepreneur and like ownership and like having your own business, it's like such a big jump, but it's such like a game changer of a thing. And you can make that jump not just in business, in anything. And that's where the rebranding comes in, is when it starts from within and you're like, I'm worth so much more than what this corporate job is showing me, or I'm worth so much more than these limits that I'm putting on myself and I think my worth is. And it all starts from within, and then your outer world will just automatically, and it's kind of a manifestation too, right? Your outer world will just automatically mimic it and mirror it. And then you'll look around one day and be like, holy shit, I am not the same Sammy, or I'm not the same Taylor that I was. And it's beautiful. So, this is why it's important, because it literally is life changing. And it's literally a declaration to the world and even energetically to yourself of being like, this is who I am now. Welcome the new me, and I'm gonna embody it and embody everything that I stand for. So that's where we're both at in life right now, and it's the most exciting time ever. So good for us. Cheers to us in my ebb and flow. In my ebb and flow, branded little tumbler thing.
That's so cute. Cheers!
Cheers!
And girl, fucking preach, first of all, because everything that you said was so magical. And I feel like one thing that I really loved is how you said that you can start from where you were in the past. Like you can start from a low point. And just like we were talking about a couple episodes back, episode 49, the past is not your story to embody. And I think that this episode alone is such a great example to you guys for that, because when Taylor and I had recorded that episode, I was really struggling. Like dead ass, I was just talking to Taylor about some really deep feelings that I was having right before, to the point that I was crying, and I was like, wow, like I really felt like when I had gone home in Connecticut, I wasn't expecting to feel this way, but I felt like I was like transported back to an old version of me who felt all the old feelings that I had felt, and it just brought up a lot of things for me to process and heal. And guys, I choose to rebrand myself anyway. Okay. So even if you're coming from a place of, wow, I'm in a lot of pain right now, maybe you're dealing with a heartbreak, maybe you're dealing with your mother or your father wound, you're trying to heal some family trauma, you're trying to be that generational change. I know that's something that Taylor and I, we relate a lot on, of we were kind of like the black sheep, and now we're like, ooh, like we're just taking our power back. Like we're choosing ourselves. And that's a really, really, really powerful thing, you know? So even though your story might have looked like that in the past, you can fucking change it at any time. And this is something Taylor and I were just talking about before the episode. We were like, we can rebrand ourselves and reintroduce ourselves to the world as many times as we want. As
Hmm.
times. So I have had multiple rebranding. I have done it multiple times. And guess what? I'm going to keep motherfucking doing it in all areas of my life, because I truly believe that that's what growth is. And I believe, I was saying this on my Instagram post yesterday, I want what's best for all of you guys. I want what's best for Taylor. I want her to be her best, her happiest, her healthiest self. I want that for all my Lotus babes. I want that for all of you guys listeners. So why do you not want it for yourself? Like it's time to want it for yourself. It's time to want to re-identify. It's time to want to rebrand yourself, because all of us can do better, right? And by all of us doing better, we're gonna fucking help the world do better. And it's so easy for people to talk right now about all of the worst case scenarios and bring up politics and bring up all of these just like really hard times. And I get it and I resonate and I totally understand. And all of those feelings are valid. But I just think about, what if we all put our energy towards being the best version of ourselves and we all come together? That would be way more powerful than any fucking thing this world has ever experienced or seen, you know? So why don't we think about it in that way?
Wait, that just gave me chills when you said it. I feel like my angels were like, yes, that's it. Like, that's so true. Like, we have full control over our inner worlds and, like, just what we choose to entertain, what we choose to let in, and what we choose to flow out into the world. So it's like, we really do have that like power to change the world in that way. And even just like that, like you said, like what energy are we entertaining? What are we allowing in and what are we allowing out? So I think that's really, really important to consider. And when you evolve, you come to realize that too, that that is like so powerful. And people, will just discredit it and be like, well, the world's a shit show and there's nothing we could do because the government is X, Y, and Z and whatever, which I understand, and I'm not discrediting whatever goes on in this realm, like at all. Like, I totally understand. But what me and Sammy are trying to touch on is the importance of your own energetic well-being and what you can do and how it can really, really benefit you and benefit your entire life. So, anything like that that can change, your world, your inner and outer world full circle, we fully embody and stand by. And we really practice. Like, I gotta say, a lot of this on the podcast, we're not just preaching to you. We come to you with updates of our personal life every week because we want to show you that, like, everything that we're saying is what we embody, is what we believe in, and it's what we actually practice. And it's being like, we're here for you whenever you decide to make that jump, or whenever you decide you want something different for your life, or you want to outgrow situations, It can be uncomfortable. And we're like the hands that you can hold along the way and listen to along the way and be like, you know what? If they can do it, why can't I? So I think that's another reason why this episode is going to be a really good one and a really powerful one, and seriously a sign for you to listen to and to send to a bunch of people. Because let's talk about evolutions in general, right? Think about, Sammy, when you were 10 years old, what was your style like? Let's think outside of the body. What was your style like? What were you wearing?
Okay, so I feel like I was a huge sports girl. I was very much so like
Okay.
a tomboy, but had a little bit of femininity. But at that point, at 10 years old, I was playing premier softball. So I was traveling every single weekend playing games in tournaments. We would do 3 games per day, back to back to back, sometimes Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So that was my style. Like I was just a little jock, I feel like, in that.
Yeah, little
But
tomboy.
I do feel like I didn't necessarily have like a huge group around me. So I think at the same time, I was a little bit of a loner. And but like, yeah, I guess it was a little sad, but like not in a sad way, but definitely like a little loner.
Yeah, so let's say that throughout the years, you held on to that identity of being this jock, being this tomboy, and you kept trying to embody it, even though inside you were changing and inside it felt like you were outgrowing your environment. Let's just say you were trying, sports and continuing that path, even though you didn't feel called to it anymore because clearly, that's not the path that you chose. That's not the path you wanted. That's not the path, you were meant to go on. So let's just say, Sammy now, 26 years old, which where did the time go, first of all? I feel like we met when you were how old? 20, 21?
I was such a baby.
I know. It's beautiful to see the evolution, but let's just entertain the fact that that outer evolution never happened. Let's just say. And how uncomfortable would you feel in that body and in that mindset of your 10-year-old self? And this could be for any age, honestly. It's literally just an example of like not feeling connected to your identity and your brand and what you stand for, and how weird it would be for you and unnatural. Because when I was 10 years old, let me tell you, the things I was wearing, the things I was doing, the beliefs that I had, like, thank God we outgrow ourselves all the time because no, I wouldn't stand for that. But if I just fell into that comfortable mindset of like, you know what, whatever, I don't want to grow. Or like, I don't see the point in deep diving into my growth or deep diving into like what else this world has to offer my inner self. I would just stay stagnant. And which one sounds better to you? To be like a butterfly and just be growing and like sprouting these beautiful wings, or to just be the caterpillar for like ever? Just
Definitely
give
a
me,
butterfly.
give you a mental picture, and if you want to consider where you were at even 10 years ago, and if you were still just stuck in that position, like we have the power to change. And if it feels uncomfortable, that means you're doing it right.
100%. And I think because when you had asked me what would I have been feeling, I would fucking hate myself. I would literally hate myself. I'd hate my body. I'd probably still be 60 pounds heavier, binge eating. So I'd probably even gain more weight. And I would never be the person that I am today, because I feel like, especially when you're considering your past versions of yourself, what habits were they having as well, right? Like for me as a kid, I was such a people pleaser. I was running around trying to make my entire family happy, and it was fucking exhausting because nobody can make anybody happy other than themselves. And I would still probably be doing that, and I would just be miserable in myself. And let me tell you guys, like, it feels so good to choose you. And that's why I think rebranding is such a powerful thing because there's a mindset shift behind that you need to have. You need to be willing to embrace the change. You might not know what happens. You might not know where you're going to go. I mean, I quit my job 3 months in for this business. I didn't know what the fuck was going to happen. Okay. I only had a couple of girls at that point. Like it was a huge toss up of the dice. But the amount of growth and just evolution that jump had given me, I would never give that away for the world. Like I'm so grateful that I did do that. So you're never fully going to know what ends up happening, but that's the power of it, right? That's the power of surrendering. And you really have to learn how to let go of those old versions of yourself because I feel like why people can be so unhappy in this day and age, and I'm speaking from experience, is when you continue to act like this old version of you, or you're continuing to have these habits that you don't like about yourself. So you're beating yourself up all the fucking time when you could just make a decision of, like, you know what? I'm gonna wake up today and I decide now I'm gonna be a gym girly. Or you wake up one day and you're like, I'm actually going to start that podcast, just like Taylor and I did. This was just a whim. And now we're over here really helping you guys week by week. We're getting messages from people who are listening saying how much they resonate with what we had to say. So it's actually serving a purpose. But we had to take that jump and we had to do the mindset shift of, no, we embody this now. We are podcasters. We identify as that. We take it seriously. We show up every single week. And it's about deciding and then taking the action to follow up. And then after that, it's really just trusting that you won't fall back. And I think that can sometimes be the hardest part about a rebrand is like that trust factor of like, ooh, like at least for me, like especially when it comes to personal development. And what we were talking about of the past isn't yours to embody. Like for me, I felt like I was starting to go back to an old version of me. But what Taylor really reminded me is I've been this version of me for way too long. And there's no way that I would ever go back to that old version. Maybe for a day or two, I might have had a little bit too much to eat in a way, do a little like snacky, which hurts my stomach. So I try not to do that. Or I might just have felt very depressed for like a day or two and needed to just lay on my couch and feel it all out. But I would never let that go on for weeks and months at a time. So when you're talking to me about 19-year-old Sammy, that's what she would do. But now it's like I didn't even allow myself to do that. I got right back into a routine. I'm feeling much better. But I also, again, I did the mindset work of like, why do I want to be this next level version of me? And I think that's where you really have to know yourself and understand your life purpose and understand what makes you happy. And that's actually why I decided, and I was telling Taylor, I'm taking the next 6 months to just date myself. Obviously, you guys know that I had kind of like had a partner for a very, very long time. And after seeing him in Connecticut, like we are just on such good terms. And I'm just not ready. And I know I'm not ready. And that was just such a big sign that I wasn't ready. And thankfully, like I've really just been so true to myself, working on myself. I'm not even really focused on anything else. But having that experience, I was like, okay, I know that I need to take these 6 months to date myself and to ask myself questions and take myself out to dinner. And now I feel really excited about that. So, in a way, I get to rebrand myself as, oh, this is the next level version of Sammy who just fully takes care of herself in all of the ways. And like I was listening to this podcaster and she was like, yeah, like I bought myself like cute little lingerie fits and like I would have photo shoots for myself and just like doing things that feel really, really good for you. So that's something I'm going to be working on. And I think that's a really cool part about rebranding too, is that there's no limit to like how much you can actually expand, you know? So you might rebrand in one way and then it might lead to all these other things, you know? So for me, I'm just like, okay, like I really want to embody that I'm a strong, I'm an independent, I'm a feminine female, and I want to help women see that they only need themselves. But I also, because I'm dating myself, want to really embody that receptive energy too of I'm receptive to compliments, I'm receptive to dinners, I'm receptive to love, so that I'm still open for when a relationship comes in, but I don't fucking need one. And I think that's a really, really, really powerful thing. And that's something that I haven't had in my lifetime because I was such a people pleaser and I relied on other people so much.
Girl, I don't think you realize how powerful that all is, like genuinely. Like I wish that upon every female that at least one time in their lives they can feel the love of themselves, like that self-love and just fully encapsulate themselves with it and spoil themselves with it because all the love that we need as females are is just within us. For anyone, males too, but it's like all the answers are within us and all the love is within us. And when you seek that type of love and that type of validation in all these other places, and you come up empty-handed, or you come up, like you said, like people pleasing or settling for less, or, your worth can get mixed up in it. Like I have been there myself, and I feel like a lot of females have as well, because we're just loving creatures and we just want something to nurture by nature. That's just our nature about it. But it's like the Miley Cyrus song, like I can buy myself flowers. Like I can hold my own hand. Like why am I not doing this for myself? Exactly. Okay, if anyone can't see because I'm talking and I'm probably on the screen right now, Sammy is holding up these beautiful flowers.
So
And let me tell you, they're so cute. Let me tell you, I do the exact same thing. Like, I'm in a relationship. I'm not gonna wait for someone to buy me flowers, no matter if it is my boyfriend. It's like if you shower yourself in that love, you don't seek it in other places, you're not giving out that energy at the same time of like, I'm looking for someone else to complete me or anything like that. That's usually when it finds you, is when you stop looking for those things. Ready to elevate your mind, body, and soul? Lotus Lifts, founded by Sammy Roos, blends holistic healing, fitness, and energy work to help you feel your absolute best. Whether it's one-on-one coaching, movement-based healing in the Lotus Lifts Collective, or spiritual growth, Sammy's intuitive approach will guide you to balance and vitality for a happier and healthier life. I should know because I have been a Lotus babe for over a year now, and let me tell you, it has been like the best year of my life for my health. I have just been feeling amazing. So take it from me. All the details you need are going to be in her website, so check that out in the show notes to get started to transform your life with Lotus Lifts, where wellness meets awakening. Now back to the episode.
a stage in life, you know? Because it's like I was with someone for so long. Like I saw my entire future with that person, you know? So now I feel like ever since that we've been separated, I've really gotten this beautiful gift of getting to think about what do I want? What does my future look like? What would Sammy be doing? What would she be wearing? What would she be living? I get to go down to all the small, minute details because I have this time, you know? So I definitely think it's like a phase in life, especially because I do just have so much disinterest in dating. You know, this is something I was telling Taylor. I was like, I honestly am at the point where I don't even really want to look at a man. Like, and I think that's so powerful. Like, when I was listening to the podcaster talk about dating herself, it was like everything around was just platonic. And I feel like that is just honoring myself. It's honoring my past relationship. It's also honoring whoever I'm with next. Because if I were to jump into something right now, like, I know that I'm not the best version of myself to do that, right? Which is why this whole rebrand comes up because it's like, oh shit, the next level Sammy that's in her soulmate dream, we're leading to marriage relationship, she looks like this,
Mhm.
right? She's in a two-bedroom, wink, wink, you know? And I have these like features and characteristics about me. But I realized listening to this podcast, I had such a download and I was like, wow, the only way that I am going to be that version of me is if I date myself and if I figure out who that is. And I think it's so cool too, because I'm coming at it from a place where I love myself, you know, like I've been looking in the mirror and I'm doing my mirror affirmations and I feel really good about my body. And I've been so on point with fitness. It's been so good. I've been so consistent. So it's really coming from a place of love. And I think oftentimes when it comes from a rebrand, sometimes people are coming from a place of hate. And I totally understand because when I went through my 60-pound weight loss, like I hated my body, I hated the weight, I hated how I felt. It all came from that place. But now I'm coming from a place of like, no, I love where I'm at. I just want to be better. I just want to grow better. And it's coming from such a place of love that I know everyone around me is going to benefit from it too. And I think that should be the number one why, right? Like at the end of the day, I want to be better for my best friend. I want to be better for my family. I want to be better for my fur babies. I want to be better for my clients, for my partner, like for my ex-partners. I want to be better for everyone who has been in my life, is in my life now, or will be in my life in all fucking areas. And I just don't understand why people don't want that too. You know, I'm
Girl,
sorry.
I'm
Like, I'm just such a like growth-minded person. I'm like, why don't
Mhm.
you want to feel better? Why don't you want to be better? Like, why don't you want to look in the mirror and be like, damn, you're a baddie queen. Like, I love those curls, you know? Like, it just feels so good. So I hope this is really whipping you guys into shape to ask yourself, like, why haven't I wanted this? Why don't I want more? And really getting deep around those questions because I think a lot of things, maybe statements, experiences are going to come up for you, and you're going to notice it was never your decision in the first place. Because if you decided, I truly believe you would want better for yourself. This episode is brought to you by Flow, a yoga, meditation, and massage studio where wellness isn't just a routine, it's a ritual. Whether you're looking to melt into a soul soothing massage, and trust me, they're amazing, flow through an energizing hot yoga class, or quiet your mind with guided meditation, Flow is the place to go deeper into relaxation, into movement, into yourself. So if you're in Asbury Park, New Jersey, or you're flying in just like me, treat yourself to the experience you deserve. Join the waitlist now at ebbandflownj.com and click the link in the show notes for more details. We cannot wait to see you there.
Yes, girl. Oh my God, I ask myself that all the time. I'm like, why doesn't everyone want this? I'm so confused. Like, I'll literally just look around and be like, are you guys good? Like, you're good? Like, I don't know. My mom, all the time, I can use her as an example. Like, I will notice something about her and just kind of be like, hey, like, that was a really limiting belief, or that was really negative, or like something like that. Like, let's dissect that. Like, maybe let's change the narrative there. And she'll be like, Taylor, you know what? All this growth stuff, she's like, it doesn't bother me. Like, I'm fine. I'm like, but it bothers me. So let's work around it. But you're so right. It's like it changes yourself. That's what I'm trying to explain to her. I'm like, no, no, it opens a whole world within yourself. It's not just for other people. It's like your mind is literally shifting and you're literally in turn manifesting all these good things then instead of all these bad things that you're attracting. So it's just a side note, like we're not just saying this to say it. We're saying it because it is a snowball effect for all these other good things to come. So I think rebranding from the inside is the first step, genuinely. And like Sammy said, like this podcast can just be planting that seed for you also of looking at like where you've changed, how far you've come, and then maybe where you want to go. And it's like a vision board in that way, you know? Like you plant these seeds of the person you want to become, the life you want to lead. And it's like, okay, the next step is like rebranding it in your mind and being like, I am blank, you know? Those affirmations, they come in handy too. I am powerful. The one that I'm embodying now and my rebrand that I had a download about at the gym yesterday, which is pretty cool, is that I take up space and I'm happy about it. And I want to take up more space in a room energetically and just I want to feel like, not like in a little corner and like, ooh, like dancing around everyone's energy and dancing around everyone's feelings and everything. Like, no, I want to walk in a room like Sammy does. Like, she'll fling open the door and be like, I'm here, bitches. And even in the gym, I loved working out with her so much because she'll just fucking like I don't even know what it is. It's more so your energy. If you're just like, I'm fucking here. This is my place. This is where I'm at. That's my squat rack I'm going to. And like she just claims it. I don't know. There's a whole energy behind it of like taking up space. And I've been doing that and trying it more and more with the gym and with grocery shopping and with whatever. It's like, I don't give a fuck if I'm seen, heard, like I'm coming out and I'm rebranding. So that's where I'm at with that. And let me tell you, it feels good because I don't want to stay small. I want to expand forever. So,
Fucking love that for you. I'm literally geeking out.
so that's where my inspiration comes from, my best friend.
You so much. And I love how you also talked about like how far have you come from, let's say for me, it's like 5 years ago, right? I was looking through photos when I had made a transformation post this week. And for the first time, I was looking through the photos and I was like, you know what? I'm noticing a lot of good here. Usually I look back and I'll feel a little shameful. I'm like, oh, I see the weight going on. I see me starving myself. I see me drinking. I'm like, ooh, like it kind of just brings in this energy of like, why did I do that? Like it hurts, especially as a coach. Like I would whip myself into shape. But this time while I was doing it, I was like, wow. I'm seeing where I'm starting the affirmations. I'm seeing where I'm starting to be consistent with the gym. I'm seeing my body change before my eyes scrolling through the videos. And it really just allowed me to look back and for the first time, and I think it's because I did a lot of healing after I came home from Connecticut. And, like I talked to you guys about it, I'm going to be honest about it. We all have to heal. It's never going to be linear. It's never going to be perfect. I mean, I have written over 20 forgiveness letters for one person. It takes however long it takes, and there's going to be things that come up. But I was scrolling back and I was like, wow, I'm seeing the love. I see how these friends really served me during the time that I was with them. And I see how these jobs really served me. And I see where I learned this lesson. And it just felt so good. And I feel like that's what gave me all of the momentum to fully do a rebrand where I manifested this new move just working out fucking perfectly. Like when I tell you guys, I did not put 1 ounce of effort into it. Like my friend found it for me. My friend toured it with me. It just worked out so divinely. Like I honestly was asking myself with Taylor, I was like, can it really be this easy? But yes, it can be. So when you really come back from seeing the good in everything and starting your rebranding from there, from how far you've already come, ooh, it just makes it just even that much more powerful. So definitely do it because I think that's why it's so easy for Taylor to embody taking up space because she sees how far she's already fucking come. Right? Like you've come so far. You're already taking up so much space. You're now a business owner. You're opening up a massage studio. You're opening up all of these things. You're on social media. We're doing the podcast. Like slowly but surely, you've already been paving the way. And now you're just like, no, I'm fully identifying it. And all you have to do is make a decision. You don't even need to tell anybody. You just make a decision. And like Taylor says, I don't even think about me taking up space at the gym. Like for me, I laugh so hard because I'm like, oh, I'm just going to the gym. Like it's just a normal thing for me. So hearing her perspective, I'm like, wow, is that what I'm like?
Yes, Sammy's energy. Let me tell you, your energy is so big. Like that's the only, and I know like you've definitely gotten that compliment before of like you could just feel when she's in the room. Like she's one of those people that you're just like, Sammy's here. Like you don't have to look up. You just know, which is amazing. But it's like in such a beautiful way. Like you touch as many people, like their auric fields just feel you coming. And it's like I love that because I've always been more of an observer of other people's energy and very like I tread lightly and I'm careful of like where I expand that field and where I'm at and what's around me. But there's something so beautiful to being so unapologetic and so seen and so present and there and just like having your energy be felt no matter what. So I love that. I really think it was the last gym visit that we did together that did it for me too. Because I was like, this feels so good because by association, just by being with you, I felt like I could take up as much space as I could. It was like walking into a place with the owner of it and just feeling like you belong anywhere you go because you do. And like, why feel like you don't? Because that's such a limiting, weird energy to be in. I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, it's almost as if like let's say your toxic ex owned a restaurant or something and you were walking in that restaurant. It's like that shrinking feeling of just being like, oof, I don't belong there, versus like literally your own business and you're flinging open the doors and you're like, hello everyone, I am here and this is what I'm offering, like it's that different energy. So that is my rebrand. And like Sammy says, it doesn't have to be such a public thing. It could just be for yourself and it could just be that energy that you're claiming for yourself. So, with all that being said, what are you claiming to rebrand within your own life?
It's so funny. I feel like I'm the same as you. Like I literally feel like I'm trying to like expand and scale and grow and be even bigger and better. So it's so funny that yours is take up space.
Yes, girl, it makes sense that we're the same because we own businesses. Like you said, we're in that expansion mindset all the time. So, this is also a task for our listeners. Where are you guys expanding? Or where do you want to expand to? What do you want to rebrand? Comment it on this video.
Definitely think about what is your rebrand? Who do you want to be? How do you want to act? How do you want to show up? How do you want people to see you? Just think about it, even if you're just giving yourself a little self-care date night. You can get your magnesium. I personally love First Form. It's fucking amazing. It helps me sleep so much. So like I'll just go through mine with you guys real quick, just so that you guys can get a little view and you guys can copy it and do the exact same thing. So what I like to do is I like to turn the tub on, right? So we're having scorching hot water. You guys can change that if you want to, but then add some salt. I personally love the Dr. Teal's muscle recovery. It's really good, especially for my gym goers. It's gonna help you a lot. So do the Dr. Teal's muscle recovery. Then you're gonna do the Dr. Teal's soap as well. I love any of the flavors, so just take your pick, have fun with it. That's gonna give you the bubbles. If you want, you can put like some crystals on the side. I personally like to bring just whatever feels called to me. So like for example, I'm gonna show this. If you guys are watching the YouTube, you'll see it. But one of my clients, she gave me for Chinese New Year these 16 gold coins. And I've just been using it with all my rituals. I'm literally so obsessed. I know she probably doesn't think that they were going to be like so impactful to me, but I literally use them all the fucking time. Like I'm just so obsessed with them. So I had that to the side and I went ahead and I made my magnesium and I did First Forms magnesium. I also put the creatine in there because creatine is really good for helping you build muscle. It's one of the best supplements that you can use if you are going to the gym. So personally, I love to do the chocolate sea salt when I use the creatine because you're able to mix it together. If you put it in the microwave, it literally tastes like a chocolate milk, like a hot chocolate. You could even put some marshmallows, like mini marshmallows, if you really want to make it a vibe. Get in the bathtub, and I just want you to sip on it and just think, okay? Just allow yourself to have fun. What would you be doing? Where would you be traveling? What job would you be doing? What would your social media posts look like? Just think about all these different categories of life and just have fucking fun with it. And then you could just write them down. I usually have my journal to the side and I have like a little towel because I always get water everywhere. So fun fact. So just write down anything that comes up for you. And what that's going to do is it's just going to give you a guideline, right? You're just really having fun and try to do that maybe once a week with yourself. I mean, why not? You never know what's going to come. And you can manifest things so quickly that you don't even know you're going to be manifesting. So, like, for example, for me, I have travel. That's a really, really big priority on my list this year. I'm like, I want to travel. I want to be going everywhere. I want to go to Greece. I want to go to New Jersey to see Taylor. Like, there's so many places that I want to go. And my mom ended up buying me a brand new luggage when I got home from my trip seeing her for my birthday. Right? So I manifested a luggage that's huge. It's literally double the size that I was fucking using. It has wheels, which is amazing because I was just like carrying my duffel bag and I fucking fell at the airport because I was carrying so much stuff. And I put no amount of effort. It was just that I see my next self traveling and exploring the world. And what do you know? That support came. And now I'm so excited to come to you in April, girlfriend, for the grand opening because now I have this beautiful luggage, you know? So, like, you don't know what you're going to call in because you're just having fun with it. So, I really encourage you, have a date night, have fun with it, and just see what comes up for you and just allow it to be. You don't have to put any pressure on it. You just taking the time in itself is you manifesting and having that intention.
Couldn't have said it better myself. People, so you have some homework, but it's the best homework ever. Like, who wouldn't want to do that?
Yes, it is. And if you want some accountability, send this to your best friend. I mean, first of all, I definitely feel like this is a longer episode. So if you guys want to go back and if you want to have your notes, a pen and a paper, if you want to listen to it like 2 or 3 times, I think you're going to get a lot of ideas and inspirations as you listen to it each time. I know I do when I listen back to other podcasts who give homework. And I feel like if you want that accountability, send it to your fucking best friend, send it to your mom, send it to somebody that you know they're in a time period where you're like, you know what? I feel like you would really benefit from thinking about these journal prompts. And what if you did just rebrand yourself? And I know for me and Taylor, we're always like, let's rebrand together, right? Because if you have someone that's doing it with you, you're 10 times more likely to fucking skyrocket in the direction that you want to go to. Because we all know that two people is more powerful than one.
Two is better than one, baby. I could not agree more. Could not agree more. So send this to your second pair.
Mhm.
Actually, that didn't make any sense. So send this to someone.
What if you say, send it to your better half? Because that's what you are in my phone.
Oh, I love that. Send it to your better half. That's really cute. Oh,
Anyway, it could be a best friend, it could be a partner, it could just be your coworker, it could be anyone. But just, this could apply in so many different areas of life. So just see what resonates with you. I know as you guys are listening to it, there is going to be a download. There's going to be some sort of intuition or thought where you're like, wow, like I can apply this here, and then just run with it.
yeah. Yeah. No, I think that's what this is all about too. We're spreading the word and raising the consciousness of the world in itself. So good for us and good for you.
Well, where can they find you, Taylor?
You could find me at melt_ebb and flow NJ on Instagram. Sammy, where can they find you, girl?
You guys can find me at @SammyRoos_ at all platforms. And if you guys do your homework, if you have your self-care date night, will you please do me a favor and fucking tag me so that I can see? I love to hear your guys' wins. I love to hear what resonates with you from what we talk about. So if you want to go comment on Spotify or YouTube saying what you did, how you feel, how you're rebranding yourself, or like I said, share it on your story and tag me so I can see. That would be magical because I love seeing what you guys do after listening to the podcast.
You heard the woman. So until next time, everyone, just know that we love you.
We love you. Have so much fun.
Bye.
Bye.